Under the cola tree, our stories unfold. Drums speak the past in rhythms bold.
Did you know that Mbari, under the Igbo traditional society, was not just a building or a piece of art? It was high stakes and communal spiritual projects. You're welcome back to Igbo Tradition, My Heritage, and today I will be discussing a very important and interesting subject, the Act of Mbari. But I called it the Lost Act of Mbari. And by the end of this segment, you will find out why I named it the Lost Art of Mbari. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please make do subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell button and use the comment section and share your thoughts, and don't forget to share my videos. Thank you. The Act of Mbari. I know that some people, what comes to your mind when you hear that word Act of Mbari, you would think of museum. But under the Igbo traditional society, the Act of Mbari was not just a building or a piece of art. It was seen as a visual sacrifice to Allah, the earth deity. The Act of Mbari was not a pan-Igbo tradition. It was exclusively tied to some southern part of Igbo community, the heartland Owerri people, and some parts of its environs. The Act of Mbari, like I said, was said to be a visual sacrifice to Anna, the earth goddess. It was said that when the community experienced crisis or long-term famine, strength of bad luck, the chief priest might declare the Art of Mbari. What is this Art of Mbari and how is being done? When the chief priests declared Art of Mbari, some men and some women were chosen to build Mbari, and they were secluded from the community for some months or even some years, where they dedicated their time, dedicated their talent in building that Act of Mbari, which was a mud house that had sculptures made from the mud, because it was said that every material used in building Mbari was natural, made from the earth, mud, clay, natural dyes, uli. That was what was used in building the Mbari. And inside the Mbari and outside the Mbari, in front of the Mbari, when the big mud house had been erected, then they had sculptors, they had paintings on the wall which they used in telling stories, and also everyday scenes, like the a woman having giving birth, a farmer farming, hunter hunting animals, and other things. Then the earth deity in front of the wall, in front of the mold, and at the center of the mold. So when this building was concluded, there was a celebration. The community gathered to celebrate. After the celebration, the building was abandoned for it to naturally crumble or be washed away by the rain, which they saw as the earth deity receiving their sacrifice. It was a peace offering to the earth deity to, to create balance between man and the land. So it was not expected for any man to erect the building after the celebration. Erecting it means starting from afresh, another building, not that one, not rebuilding the one that had been built and the celebration had been done. Like I said at the beginning, that it was seen as a visual sacrifice to Allah, the earth deity, to create balance between man and the land when the community faced crisis. So they did it to create a balance between man and the land. So, of a truth, you will agree with me that I am right by calling it the lost act of Mbari, because during the Igbo pre-colonial era, it was not meant to be a museum. It was a visual act of sacrifice to earth deity, which after the community must have celebrated, the building and everything in it was left to crumble naturally or be washed away by the rain, which signified that the deity had accepted their sacrifice. But what we have now, like in Owerri, Imo State, where I grew up, we have Mbari Center. There's Mbari Center. I don't know whether it's still there, but I know of Mbari Center around Ikenebu, somewhere around there. So for now, I mean, then it was like a museum, a place we went there, sculptures, artworks, and all that. So for spectators to see and all that. But it was not so during the Igbo pre-colonial era. The act of Mbari was for. It was a sacrifice, a visual sacrifice to create balance between man and the land. It was a sacrifice they made. The process of creating it, of building it, was as important as the finished product. From beginning to the end, was seen as a sacrifice. So that is Mbari, the act of Mbari under the Igbo traditional society, a practice being done by the Owerri people, the present day Imo State, and some parts of its environs. This is where I'll be stopping today to see you in my next video, where I'll be discussing another interesting Igbo tradition, our culture. Some you might not even know or you've never heard about before. See you in my next video.
Under the cola tree, our stories unfold. Draw